Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is September the 25th, 2017. Have a strong hand, long-term thinking, your home for crypto dividend news, pure commitment to Bitcoin. All right, everyone. You know the deal. Check out the link section below. You can see the great crypto-hwwallet.com affiliate link of mine. You can get your Trezor, your Ledger Nano, digital Bitbox. I still have to set that up. And a leather case for all of those things. And a lot of people like those leather cases. I have one. So also check out, I've got links to Trezor's site down there and to the t-shirt cryptography dude, his place. You can get a 10% discount by using the Meister discount code there. All right. What do we have here? How you guys doing? I have a little bit of a different setup here today, so you'll have to bear with me. You know, always trying new things. So let's jump right into Tuur Meister, what he had to say. Maybe I should have my glasses on so I can read from a distance. I actually have driving glasses. All right, Tuur Meister says the SEC's new cyber unit will, and this is linked to below in his tweet, cyber unit will hone in on blockchain and ICOs to protect retail investors, bringing cases involving fraud targeting retail investors, sale of unsuitable structured products to microcap pump and dump schemes. All right, so it appears that our buddies at the SEC are waking up to ICOs. So I can only say, don't start an ICO, people. Don't even mess with this. They're going to crack down on this eventually. It looks like it's getting closer. And everyone who watched yesterday's show, and yesterday's show is linked to below, so please watch it. I mentioned how these ICOs are contacting me every day to be on the show. And they're clearly not even watching my show, because I wake up this morning and sure enough, 2 more have contacted me to be on my show, even though on the show that they're commenting on, I'm saying, don't contact me. Okay. So pound that like button, people. Pound that like button. What else do we have? All right. Yeah. Andy Hoffman interviewed me today. Out below. It's linked to below. It was a good time. A lot of you love Andy. I'm going to talk about that momentarily. So, again, people have been asking me about the B Gold situation. Go to their website. It's been updated a little bit. They need to do a full update, but it looks more professional now. It doesn't say that much, but it links to their Facebook page, their Twitter page. Check it out. I think a lot of you will feel better about it. So there's your little crypto dividend update for B Gold. But I also linked to the Ethereum possible crypto dividend, community activated hard fork, or Ethereum 3, whatever you want to call it, and to Bitcore. I linked to there, all 3 official websites. So if you've been confused before, you can go straight to the sources and follow the progress, bookmark it, etc., etc. All right. Oh yeah. Speaking of B Gold, again, obviously someone from over there is in touch with me, and they're working on getting an English-speaking PR person to spread the word. And there has actually been someone who has appeared on my channel before. And all of you real businessmen out there who are familiar with sales and marketing, I think this guy really stuck out as a really good salesman. I mean, in my opinion, he's the best salesperson I've ever had on this show before. Not that I've had too many sales-oriented people on the show before, and I'm not going to name him. I'm going to just let all the veterans and all the businessmen who are awake who watch this use your memories, go back in the archives, and figure out who this guy is. And so I recommended to people at Beagle that they hire this guy, and they're in touch with this guy. And if this guy is watching, dude, man, come on. Yeah, it's a really interesting opportunity. So I'm not going to say his name. I will give one hint though. And that hint is a line from a song that I won't even name the song. Well, I hope Neil Young will remember, a Southern man, don't need him around anyhow. There's your hint. All right, blockchain.info. I got a fake, okay? A lot of us have been involved with blockchain.info before, and this is not anything bad about blockchain.info, but there is someone out there that somehow got a hold of one of my email addresses, not one that I usually give out, and sent me an email pretending to be blockchain.info, saying I had received 0.5 BTC. And now, upon closer examination, because I always look at my emails very closely, and I didn't expect to get one from blockchain.info at that email address, it kind of spelled blockchain.info a little wrong, and then there were other people copied on the email. I'm putting this out there as a public service announcement. If you get a Bitcoin-related email, don't click on a link in it, okay? Go to that account, whether it be from Trezor, whoever, blockchain.info. Actually, go to the account, type in your account like you usually do, the URL, and just log in. And then you'll see that, wait a second, I didn't get 0.5 BTC. So really, this stuff is only going to be picking up. And these phishing emails, they look very real if you just glance at them quickly. And then you mindlessly just click on a URL. That's terrible. So be careful. Let me check something real quick here. Pound that like button while Adam is checking something here. All right, yeah, you guys can do the super chat, but it's really hard for me to see that from this angle, but cool. Yeah, what else do we have here? People have mentioned yesterday I asked, who would you like to see if I have regular guests on This Week in Bitcoin? Because right now we don't have regular guests. We have guys that just come in and out that at most appear on the show 6 times a year. But some people, I mean, and you can leave this in the comments section again, who you really liked, who's been on the show and who you'd like to see on a lot more if we go in that direction. But Andy Hoffman, Ansel Lindner, Simon Dixon, they were brought up quite a few times. Each one is different, definitely. I mean, it's great. And Richard Hart also. So it's amazing. You know, Andy Hoffman wasn't even into Bitcoin 2 years ago, really, and now he's the one that everyone wants to see on this show. So again, I was on Andy's show today, so check out that link below. So I also, getting a little bit off of Bitcoin here, we're going to get onto some different topics because, today was a pretty calm day. I mean, Bitcoin was up like $200 and the other cryptocurrencies were doing fine also. It's been really calm, and that's great. That's great for the strong hands out there, but it's also great for the weak hands. So, but again, we're going to have days where there's going to be so much turbulence. So days like this are pretty nice. They're pretty relaxing. But still, be aware they're going to be $600 drop days. So have your strong hand going. But I wanted to mention something I was just randomly thinking about every 20 years it seems like we have a revolutionary new technology, whatever you want to call it, and it's roughly every 20 years. And if you get in early, so let's say in 1898, newspapers were really big. During the Spanish-American War, my God, newspapers were really influencing the public opinion and almost influencing what was going on in the war. And some said they actually exaggerated some things from I forget some of that stuff by now. I didn't research this for this little topic. But so if you were into newspapers back in 1898, if you were an investor, they were just, about to start to reach their peak. All right. So you're in great shape. By 20 years later, 1918, radio was in its infancy. If you got into radio then, By 1920, 1921, radio was really getting big. So you would have been in great shape. 1938, movies came along. And each one of these things kind of replaces the other one. Radio definitely radio definitely hurt newspapers. Movies came around, Gone with the Wind. Movies were around for a while, but 1939, Gone with the Wind, huge movie. And movies just took it to another level. So if you're in 1938, you're involved with movies, you're in good shape. You're in early on this revolution. By 1958, television came around. And if you were into television in 1958, you were in good shape, by a few years later. 1978, we had cable TV and we had video games just coming onto the scene. If you were into those things then, you did well. By 1998, the internet basically replaced all of those things that I mentioned beforehand. Eventually did, but in 1998, the internet was still pretty early on. If you got into it then, made some good investments then, you ended up in great shape. And as you all know, with the internet, you can follow the progress. By 15 years later, the internet really had replaced newspapers, radio, movies, TV, cable TV, and video games. You only need the internet. So then 2018 comes around. Bitcoin. It'll be early on still. If you were involved in Bitcoin in 2018, which is next year, so I assume you will be because you're already involved in 2017. If you're watching this, you'll be in good shape if that pattern that I just discussed continues. And again, this is just something I thought of by myself, and maybe you guys will have some thoughts about that. One other thing here. Can you resist the pressures of society? It's something we've talked about. I've talked about creativity on this show before. And I think, you listen to someone like Jordan Peterson who says creativity has a lot to do with intelligence. And it does. But I think a lot of intelligent people, they will follow the ways of society. They're going to want to fit in. If they're a doctor or a lawyer, they're probably pretty smart. But still, they're going to want that big house. They're going to want to get all these things for their kids. They're just going to want to get into debt and all of that stuff and just fit in. So one hears about how the smartest people are the most successful people. Now, but what is success, though? Is success defined by how many houses you have? Because you might be in a lot of debt, or what you do with your kids, how many times you send them to Disney World. Is success based on what you spend and how you spend to fit into society? So think about this. Maybe you're not doctor material here, but do you have the creativity to develop a lifestyle for yourself where you don't need to acquire these possessions, where you don't need to fit into society's rules, where you go your own way, and where, in fact, you just begin saving and conserving your wealth. You don't have to work as hard as the doctor or the lawyer. So in the end, you're very creative. You're coming out with a creative solution to getting your way through life. Yet your IQ might not be as high as them. But the most important thing is that you are resistant to society's pressures. And I think that's something that I think it's a reoccurring theme that I've brought up on the show many times. And I think getting into Bitcoin is a sign that, yeah, you don't need to fit into the mold that society has defined for you. And it's more and more, it's becoming, there's more and more pressure to fit into society every day, it seems like. Mainstream society seems to grow every day. Maybe those are the people who breed the most. I don't know. But again, you don't have to be a genius to say, I'm not going to fit in. I'm going to define success a different way. And if you don't feel that pressure to fit into society, you're going to be able to save so much and have wealth in terms of time and just your ability to do things that make you happy. So I just want to leave everyone with that note today. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. Pound that like button. I will say hello to you guys in the chat right now. Bye.